Hi everyone, welcome to #Ideas. Today's episode is going to be a very special one because we have a very special guest with us today. Meet Mr. Nishant Bhardwaj, Vice President of Marketing of ExideLife Insurance. He is a former SBI YONO Digital Chief and an entrepreneur at heart himself. He's also growing a fitness startup called Trifentry, which I love because I'm into fitness as well. I love fitness too much, and I have seen him running marathons as well. And I hope to run with him someday. So this session is going to be quite sweating one. So keep your BCAA supplements ready and let's run. Hi Nishant, welcome to our show.
Hi Gaurav, thank you so much for this introduction. Just to add a couple of things here, as an opportunity, working with wonderful people at various organizations, including my current organization, which is ExideLife Insurance, bunch of really driven people. And even at SBI, it was led by some amazing people at various, stakeholders and colleagues as such.
Right, of course, sure. It's always a team game. So Nishant, I want to take this opportunity to draw insights from you, from your digital marketing experience, to help our audience learn and apply tips that you give on their ventures, on daily basis. So let me start with the very first question. I want to really begin with your experience at YONO, SBI YONO. So how has been your experience scaling up the digital initiatives at YONO, and the kind of challenges you faced, and how did you overcome?
Sure. So for the people who are just watching in, a quick summary about what YONO SBI is. YONO SBI is India's biggest digital banking platform, or a neobank also it can be called. Essentially, we had set out a team where I was also one of the earliest members in the beginning of mid 2016. So I joined the team, and then we started a journey of digital transformation within the State Bank of India. State Bank of India has always been, overworked and I would say understaffed, with the kind of volumes of customers. And hence there is some rub-off which happens at certain level of branches also. Hence the means and the quality of service that people end up relating to. But generally, I think it's a bank which has done very well in terms of providing customer services, and to actually, side with SBI in terms of just the volume. SBI handles over 43 crore customers, which is roughly 430 million, users or customers, which is 1.5 times bigger than the population of US as well. So, which is being run by a handful of people, just 2.5 lakh people serving 430 million users. That's amazing in itself. So just resting those meme material which a lot of people usually share. Hence, just sharing the scale. Any given startup that you look at today, which reaches probably half $1 billion valuation or maybe $1 billion valuation, might just be serving probably a handful of maybe a few lakh customers, maybe 1 million users who are not even always paying customers. But when you look at the scale of SBI, where 430 million users are there, and all of them are paid customers, all of them are customers who actually pay something, have active accounts with them, not just for the fancy numbers which usually are talked about. So, the scale is huge. Hence, in 2016, we started building an app called YONO SBI, which was digital transformation, essentially digitizing the manual processes, manual forms that you fill out at the branch, and you do it through online. And we built that app, which today has more than, I think, 47 million, 48 million customers only on the YONO app itself.
So what the moment you told me about the idea of paid customers at that size, and then how it differs from the other startups who have the valuation but not the paying customer. It just reminds me about a very recent article I was reading about from Mr. Aditya Puri, the former HDFC chief, who actually compared who actually probably was talking about Paytm, how they gained the customers from cashback, and he was highlighting that their customers are not actually one who came in, who onboarded by the renting the services, which probably is the difference why Paytm is probably seeing such a difficult time in the stock market. So, wonderful. So, help me understand about your startup drive entry. I mean, it's quite of excitement for me. How did you start? What is the motivation behind? And how, most importantly, how you initially marketing the venture? What are the strategies you're using for marketing the venture?
So, just to clarify, Trifantry is just a passion project, which on the side, it's not like a full-time job. It's just something that I am doing in terms of content creation by, meeting wonderful, driven people who have done amazing things in life, like multiple Ironmans or scaling Mount Everest, or who are Olympians, or who are people who run 400 kilometers, ultra marathons, and those kind of crazy people who are actually driven. So through Trifantry, I'm just trying to meet wonderful people to share their stories across the motivated generation, which breed of people which is just getting developed in India. Number two is I also help a handful of people with their own personal goals of doing their first marathon or first Ironman, and hence very selectively choosing just a handful of people to help them cross the finish line by putting a rigor and a training plan and sort of monitoring it every single week, month, and quarter, and then year. And so I believe anyone and everyone can do a marathon, maybe a 21 kilometers or a 42 kilometers, or even an Ironman if you put your heart and soul in it. So that's how I started Trifantry. It's almost been 2.5 years. And just as a passion project, pursuing it also allows me to keep updated with the latest research and latest technologies and data science and sports science to sort of keep upgraded and keep doing my passion, which is running and triathlons. So yeah.
Yes, I also learned that you were the Ironman coach as well, I believe.
Yeah, I'm one of the few handful of Ironman coaches in the country who are actively coaching athletes. So it's fun to be in that league of 5-10 people in the country, who are trying to sort of help driven individuals. Yes.
Right. So let's talk about your current role at the ExideLife Insurance. So being vice president of at the marketing for ExideLife Insurance, so what is currently consuming your 80% focus?
Sure. So I'm handling a typically bigger team. I'm handling the entire brand, digital, social, product marketing, and channel marketing. So my team is actually the backbone of the processes and systems, and they are doing a wonderful job. Just being amongst those driven individuals is just helps you to become better every single day. So essentially, we are driving the brand messaging, campaign management, product marketing, channel marketing, helping with the activations, ATL, BTL, filmmaking, a lot of large events, CSR, all of these initiatives we are taking up at ExideLife, and just the regular marketing, brand management stuff.
Right. I understand. Regular marketing, brand marketing stuffs. And
just to put it simply and sort of in a subtle way, yes.
Right. It's the same terminology. It works at different scale, at different way, methods. So right. So now I actually want to understand, Nishant, from you. I want to take your views on the entire industry. How do you think the digital can actually help grow the size of the entire industry, the size of the cake, and what kind of gaps you see in the industry that should be addressed now?
Sure, Gaurav. I think that's a very interesting question. First of all, understanding that the entire Indian population is close to 140 crores plus. And right now, the total number of insured people, when we talk about life insurance, is just 1% of the overall population. Then that's every company put together. And so that itself gives a huge opportunity for any and all life insurance companies, even the general insurance companies who are into the business of product and various incidence-based insurance products, like car, health, collateral, all of those kind of insurance. Even that penetration is close to, I think, just 2%. So there's a huge margin to grow for all the companies put together. And how we do that is actually going to be, has to be led digitally, because in the last 70 odd years, we've just been able to reach this particular pie, which has primarily been mostly been offline. There are certain players who are now completely digital, and they are doing wonderful stuff, like a couple of examples in the general insurance side, Echo and Digit. They are completely digital first organization, and we can see the kind of tractions that they are able to reach when the entire thought process of intimate customer acquisition retention is through digital journey. So yeah, I think there's a huge scope, and digital is the way to go, especially with the new generation coming in the workforce, people in the age group of 25 to 55, especially the younger generation, the Generation Z and millennials. They are now earning well, and they are now sort of educated enough also that yes, life insurance is important, but of course a lot needs to be done on the brand side, on the education side of the audience. And I feel that this pie can actually become 10x, 20x in the next 3 to 5 years.
Actually, I have a very small cross question over there, because so when we talk about life insurance and digital and the new age customers, it's probably it gives me feeling of targeting the low hanging fruits and waiting for the the rest, all other 80-90% customers to come down online and then acquire them. So do you think somehow maybe social media, maybe how the WhatsApp has penetrated among the elderly people, can these social media channels actually act more influentially to boost the morale of these people to actually come down, other than the Gen Y, Gen Z?
Yeah, so in fact, we are doing a lot of things at ExideLife also. Various organizations like HDFC Life and all the competitor companies are doing exceptional work when it comes to awareness about just general insurance as a necessity, and a lot of amazing campaigns, not just relating to buying insurance, but various other messaging-led communication is also being created. So I think there is a huge scope on social media as well. When people start talking in the way that which the audience understands, it could be through memes, it could be the language that they understand, the messaging which is relatable and it's not shoved down. Sure. I think that's when people start relating. And social media is certainly a very important touch point for all organizations. So yes, I think that's a tool. All organizations are spending about 10% of their budgets, overall, marketing budgets on social today, and it can actually go up to 20-25% also for certain organizations when they're looking at launching certain products.
Right, correct. Right. So how do you think, being a digital enthusiast, being a digital leader, actually, how do you think small businesses should, approach the digital expansion for their businesses? Some advices for the very small businesses on very limited budgets.
Certainly. So I think when your budgets are small, when the team sizes are small, but you are trying to make a dent in the universe by acquiring certain set of customers, it's very important for any small customer, any small business to first understand the profile of the customer, what we call as a TG. But I would go one step ahead when I'm actually running a small business, is by understanding the TG of the super fan. The fan, and then the step ahead, which is the super fan, which is person who's actually completely engaged in your products, completely engaged in that particular field that you're trying to sell, And you have to be hyper focused when it comes to the kind of messaging, the kind of people that you're trying to reach. Instead of trying and acquiring lakhs of customers, try to acquire 1,000 paying customers, or maybe 2,000 paying customers, and understand, try to solve for these people instead of raising more funds or burning more funds through social campaigns. So that's number one, understanding the profile of your super fans instead of just the generic TG.
Correct.
Number two is you have to become a content company. Churn out as much content. It could be through articles, it could be through various platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever your audience spends the most time. Create a hell lot of content. It should be 2 to 3 to 4 pieces of content going out every single day, and that content has to be relatable. Do not just create template-based content, which is normally churned out by most organizations. That is not relatable. So create content which is shareable, which is relatable, which people would actually want to share with their families, with their friends, on their WhatsApp groups, would want to DM it to top 5 friends, after seeing that. It could be informative, it could be funny, it could be dancing, it could be any kind of content which your niche product people understand. So that's number 2, become a content company. Number 3 is doubling down on communities. Building communities for your particular niche will certainly help you in ring fencing your business. It could be a small community on WhatsApp groups. You can just create 4 to 5 different WhatsApp groups, have 250 people engaging for around your product. It could be Facebook groups, it could be some kind of email list, it could be Substack list, it could be a kind of community where people come and share the content or share questions, share answers, connect with each other. So many platforms and so many these tools are completely free. You don't even need to spend a lot of time in creating these. So I think these 3-4 things can actually change the way you can market with very minimal spending. Fourth is using influencer marketing. Regardless of your budget, instead of spending lakhs of rupees on just random Instagram or Facebook ads, I would rather invest, have the same amount of money in a meaningful influencer campaign where you engage with 50, 60 really driven individuals in your niche. And you don't even need to go for A-listers and B-listers, just go for C, D, E-listers with just 500 followers or maybe 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers. But in that particular niche, make it more personalized, engage with them in a more 3 to 5 months, 6 months kind of meaningful conversation instead of just posting one post or story. So, just I think these 4 points, if a very small startup with a team of 8-10 people can start focusing on, they will start getting a lot of traction and a lot of love. Even if the number of paying customers is low, you will be able to build a business and then start building, bigger communities around that.
Yeah,
I hope that answers the question.
I mean, what you're trying to say is, instead of trying to, regardless of the size of the audience, there should be a difference between, the content and the fillers, right? The content, by definition, is something that engages. So that is, quite a wonderful advisory. So at last, I just want to ask you for some fitness tips for my budding entrepreneurs who are just working on 24/7 lifestyle. How can they keep their heart well and they will high?
Yeah, absolutely. So if the audience of today's conversation is mostly, let's say, entrepreneurs and youngsters who are trying to build something, I want to address this very important issue that take your fitness as equally, and passionately as you take your startup. See, if you're trying to build something and trying to solve a problem, you are probably looking at doing it for the next 5 to 10 years or 15 years, right? And you're really passionate about it. Same has to be the case with your health. Health is something, and this can sound philosophical in people who might follow me on Instagram. By the way, my handle is Daily Fit with Nishant on Instagram, and you'll find that I keep talking about this, that health is something which you cannot purchase, you cannot inherit it, You cannot buy it. You cannot get it from your father or mother. You cannot give it to a friend. It has to be earned every single day. And if you lose it, regardless of how much, what kind of Series A, B, C, D you have received, you received for your fund, for your startup, but if you have lost your health, you will not be able to work for your startup or any organization for that matter and contribute to the country or your family or anywhere else. So you have to focus on your health first. And just a simple rule, now that you've asked me, give me a tip. See that there is no shortcut for getting healthy and fit, but a very simple thumb rule is there, which is you have 24 hours a day with you, and you have 365 days in a year, right? You just have to spend 250 hours in the entire year, and you will create a body which is fit and healthy. What is the logic of 250 hours? The logic is very simple. Spending 1 hour per day and 5 hours in the entire week. And in the 50 weeks, if you spend about 250 hours, 50 into 5, you can be super healthy and super fit. So just get moving, spend time in regulating your meals. I understand that you're working on some fast-paced problem which needs to be solved today, but take your meals on time. Do not have late night binging. Finish your meals on time, morning, afternoon, evening. Half your weight control, weight management and cholesterol control can happen just by regulating your time and what you're eating. And of course, stay off excessive drinking, smoking, all of these kind of things which people already know. And the last most important point I would say is that you might think that you're young and right now you can do anything to your body and you can recover, probably drink the entire bottle of whiskey and you'll be fine the next day. That's doing a lot of harm. And if you don't take care of your body in your 20s or early 30s, you will not have a very pleasant late 30s and 40s and 50s for sure. So take care of your body now when it is in its prime. Your metabolism is good. Make it better, and so that you enjoy the riches also. And most importantly, it will help you to reduce the stress which you feel every single day. So just taking out 30 to 45 minutes or maybe an hour in a day can help you to actually become more efficient in your startup.
Right.
That's a
startups startups need a lot of ideas, and the best ideas come when you work out very hard. Right.
For sure. It's very important to disconnect from all the devices. Correct. And all the phones and screens and whatnot that we are fully connected. Just go out for a walk, just go out for a run, and you'll feel rejuvenated and feel so de-stressed.
Right. Wonderful talking to you, Nishant Bhardwaj. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we hope to chat with you once again sometime in the future. And
sure.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you for having me. I hope, sincerely hope, even if we are able to make a change or provide value to even one person who's watching it, the day is made.
Definitely you did. Definitely. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.